Hello, fourth graders. Welcome back from spring break. It's good to be back with you. I wanted to start this week out with your amazing words and read a story to you. Our four amazing words today are intelligence, converse, debate, and intellectual. Listen for those words while I read you a story called Silent Debate by Kathleen Spagnoli. Once a Chinese scholar heard of Korea's learned people and went to test the wits of the great thinkers there. After a long, weary trip, he found himself in a boat being ferried toward a large and important Korean city. As he watched the strong boatman row, he had an idea. It is always interesting to find out how clever the working people are in a land, thought the scholar. Let me test this boatman and see if he has a spark of intelligence. Since the Chinese scholar spoke little Korean, and the Korean boatman knew no Chinese, the scholar decided to converse in a kind of sign language. Carefully, he placed his fingers in the shape of a circle, the symbol of the universe. By this, he wanted to inquire if the boatman knew any of heaven's secrets. Now, this boatman spared not a thought about the universe, but instead spent all of his time thinking about the rice cakes that he loved to eat. So when he saw the circle sign, he thought the scholar was asking, "Do you like round rice cakes?" Well, there was no doubt about that. He liked all rice cakes, but he was especially fond of the square kind of rice cake. So to answer, he held up his fingers in the shape of a square, as if to say, "Of course I like round rice cakes, but I prefer the square variety." The scholar gasped in amazement, for he saw the square as the sign of the earth and imagined the boatman had replied, "Yes, I know all about the heavens, and I know as well that about the earth and all its secrets." Wondering if he had misunderstood, the scholar decided to try one more question. He held up 3 fingers, as if to say, "Do you know even 3 of the 5 important Confucian relationships?" The boatman, still dreaming of his rice cakes, saw the 3 fingers and thought, he's asking me if I eat 3 rice cakes at a time. Now this was a silly question, for if you adore rice cakes, you never stop with just 3. So the boatman quickly held up 5 fingers, meaning, "Only 3? Never! I always eat 5 rice cakes at a time." The scholar almost fell into the water, for he understood the answer to be, "I know not just 3, I understand all 5 of those important relationships." "Incredible," whispered the scholar, "This boatman knows so much. If a mere boatman has such learning, then the scholars will be impossible to debate with. They must be truly brilliant. What a land of learning!" Then the Chinese scholar had the boatman turn the boat around, and he quickly returned to his own home. He told everyone there about the wondrous learning to be found in Korea, and never again did he try to visit that land of intellectual giants, Korea. What an interesting story. Did you hear your amazing words? So we learned that a Chinese scholar tested a Korean boatman's intelligence, and we got some context clues about what the word silent debate means. It was silent because they were using sign language, and they were debating, they were conversing back and forth. Hope you enjoyed that story. I wanted to give you a preview of what is going to be coming in an email to your families and to you as far as assignments for this week. And you can pick those up at the school starting on Thursday or Friday. And if you are getting food delivered, your packets will be delivered to you starting on Friday as well. So there's going to be some information. There's vocabulary from our lesson that's going to be in context. Different vocabulary than our amazing words, but vocabulary that you'll be working with. There's also some information about our lesson for the week, which is on graphic sources, your comprehension skill. Just flipping through the packet quickly. You'll have a spelling assignment that you normally do in Miss Fagan's classroom. And there's a packet of homework that includes spelling as well as some practicing your graphics graphic resources, graphic sources, compare and contrast. And then finally, towards the back of the packet, there is our 3-column notes. Remember doing that with your vocabulary. I have the vocabulary words as well on the page just before that with a word rating chart. And finally, at the very end of the packet is our weekly assessment. I'd like you to do this on your own, and I'd like you to do it without looking back at your vocabulary words. There are 4 pages in the assessment, just like on the computer assessment. There's also a story with about 8 other questions. So finish that and turn that in, and I'll look forward to talking to you again next week. Have a great week. Bye.